All America, all the time. Sit down, buckle up, and get ready for The Dan Bongino Show.
I would like to, on a Monday, flip a double barrel to all the leftists against the patriarchy after Father's Day and say, thank you. Thank you to the patriarchy, to all the patriarchs of the fine American households out there who've gone out there and fought the wars, who've bled the blood, who've sweated the sweat, who put in the work equity, who put in the investment and the risk and the capital, to all of the pilots, the plumbers, the electricians, construction workers who have an enormous death rate. Construction workers die all the time in a dangerous industry, handling power tools up on heights, to all the people who built this country, the patriarchs, people who built the bridges and the roads, to the men out there on Father's Day taking care of your kids and your families, to the cops, to the firefighters, EMTs, paramedics, Army, Navy, Air Force, Space Force, Marines, Coast Guard. Thank you. A big, huge, loving thank you from this guy and the entire Bongino family. Jasmine, you in on the thank you? She is. Andy, Josh, Guy, Justin, we're all in. Thank you, patriarchy. I hate that term in all seriousness. It drives me crazy. In all seriousness. But in all seriousness, really, thank you. Dads out there, you're the best, man. To my father, love you, Dad. You can say that, it's okay. I tell you, look at your kids all the time. Say, I love you. Sometimes you just have a tendency to say, I love you. No, I love you. My two daughters gave me the nicest cards. My oldest daughter, I got a little choked up. I'm just going to be straight with you. She's like, I tell everyone I got the best dad in the world. I hope your kid does the same because it's true. How can it be true if you're the best? Because it is. Don't try to read it. You know it. My youngest daughter wrote me a card and she said, before you go to bed every night, you make sure you come into my room and say how much you love me. She goes, don't think I forgot that. I was like, man, the little things, Happy Father's Day. I know it's a day late, but you get the point. Wasn't on the air yesterday. We love the patriarchy. Guy, do you love the patriarchy? You're the senior guy here. Yes, he does. Who in the chat loves the patriarchy? Tear it up early. We love the patriarchy. I know, it's true. Guy's about to join the patriarchy. Do you guys know this? Kim is pregnant. I think we've put that out there. Guy is about to be a patriarch himself of his family, the Guy family. Congratulations, Guy. Everybody, American flags in the chat celebrating the patriarchy. You know what Guy's saying? Guy's like, it's really good if dads are lean and mean too, so they can get if they got to get down. Right, Guy? You like my teases? I'm inventing Guy's teases for American flags in the chat. Even Guy said that was good. And this cat throws compliments around like freaking Mack trucks. Forget about manhole covers. He don't compliment anyone. Guy's like Mr. Macabre. It's become a joke in the show. He's really not like that, by the way. It's just become like it's become a bit on the show that I just like to run with at this point. Guy's like, you know what? I'm going to be a dad. I need to lean out. Well, I got the product for you, Guy. Lean. I always do it the wrong. There we go. Right there. Lean. I used it. Although I'm losing a lot of weight. I'm down to like 194 now. So lean works. So I lost about 30 pounds. Many Americans try the weight loss shots, but they quit due to side effects and cost. I chose lean from Brickhouse. You just saw it. No needles, no prescriptions. It works. Go to brickhousenutrition.com/Dan. Use code Dan for 20% off. Results vary, not FDA approved. brickhousenutrition.com/Dan. Today's show also brought to you by American Financing. In today's uncertain economy, American Financing is helping families find a way out of the high interest debt trap. You don't need that. We're heading into summer, but some of these economic clouds aren't clearing for a lot of middle-class families. Between inflation and the cost of daily life, you're likely feeling the economic pressure. You've worked hard for your home. You probably have more equity than you realize. Yet the summer surge is forcing many American families to rely on credit cards. It's an exhausting cycle. But American Financing understands that 2026 requires a real strategy. It's a great company. They're here to help you. They have salary-based mortgage consultants. With mortgage rates in the fives, their customers are saving an average of $800 a month. That's huge by wiping out high-interest debt. That's money that stays in your wallet, your pocket, to help fight back against rising costs. Important. Call them up today. They have no upfront fees. There's no pressure. If you start today, you could delay 2 mortgage payments. Huge. Call American Financing today. 888-994-7660. That's 888-994-7660. Or visit americanfinancing.net/Bongino. Again, it's a .net address. americanfinancing.net/Bongino. Thank you, American Financing. All right, fellas, let's go. It's the summer, so I know a lot of you are out with your families, and that's a good thing. Some of you will watch later. Some of you may miss. That's okay. Spend some time with your family, your kids. It's Father's Day. I put this tweet out the other day in case you're interested in a little, photographic kind of memory time of how I got here. This is my father, and he got married to my mother there. A couple people told me he looked like the Fonz from Happy Days. There he is. He doesn't look that much older now. He's got that Sicilian blood. He doesn't really age much. So there's Pops right there. Love you, Dad. Happy Father's Day. And this is my grandfather on my father's side, obviously his father. He was a real badass. Although I put this picture up on Twitter, it's my grandmother too. She was a real beauty. And that's me and my brother there in our old house when we were out in Long Island. You notice the pack of Marlboros? That was like ubiquitous. Don't smoke. It's bad for your lungs. Okay, we get it. But everybody smoked back then. Those were my mother's. She smoked Marlboro, and she smoked Marlboro Lights later. So everybody commented on the Marlboro pack on the Twitter post. And this is one of the biggest badasses in the history of humanity. This is my mother's father. Yes, that is not AI. He is that big. He was about 6'4". He was a monster. He looked like an offensive lineman. He was the best guy. He was a real badass. He owned a bar. They tried to rob him one time because he kept his money in his pocket in a rubber band because he didn't trust anybody. And what happened? He told him to go F himself, so they shot him. You're like, oh my gosh, did he die? No, he lived. He was a real badass. That's Gibby Kramer. That was his nickname right there. When he died, they wrote an op-ed piece about him in the Newsday, which was a New York paper. Jimmy Breslin wrote it. So that's the Dan Bongino family. So happy Father's Day all. All right, folks. Listen, I know this story may sound dumb. The algae wars, okay? The reflecting pool saga. And it is dumb. It's very dumb. So why are we talking about it? Because, folks, the algae wars in the reflecting pool and how this magically has become the biggest story in the media. Donald Trump's repair and rejuvenation product, work product he produced at the reflecting pool, how this has become an international story despite everything going on with Iran, the Strait, the economy, and elsewhere, the border being sealed, all these good news stories is epidemic of how we got here. They reminded me over the weekend, looking through all the psychosis around people dumping algae in the pool, vandalizing the pool. It's insanity. How this is the definition of like DSM diagnosable insanity. But I want you to remember how we got here and how we're in this era now where when you lose compass true north, when nobody agrees on what's reasonable or real anymore, this is why I'm trying to prevent our movement from going there. As Yuri Bezmenov, the KGB defector, said, ladies and gentlemen, the country collapses from the inside because you have this Tower of Babel effect. Think about truth as a language, okay? The language of facts. When people can't agree on what facts are, the entire society and fabric of it, as you know, implodes and collapses on itself. I mean, think about it in very simple terms. If you're a carpenter and you're going to put a light up in a house, right? And you need a certain amount of clearance for this light, and nobody can agree on what an inch is or what a foot is, you're going to get the wrong measurement. Oh, you're using your foot? I used our foot instead. What do you mean there's only 1 foot? Facts are facts. What's happened with the left is because they've become so detached from reason and no compass true north, they've gone crazy into psychosis where I'm telling you, if President Trump cured the hantavirus, the left there'd be a lobby out there pro-hantavirus. They would be out there claiming like, I can't believe we're costing all these doctors money who treat people like hantavirus. There's a story about that in Oakland, California. There's been fewer car break-ins due to a better law enforcement approach. Thanks, guys. KTVU. A decline in car break-ins across Oakland is being welcomed as a public safety win. That's because it is. But it's also contributing to a downturn for some local auto glass repair businesses. What the? Folks, how did we get here? How did we get here where there's no compass true north, Tower of Babel, everybody's speaking a different language? Reality has been distorted. basic human good things like cleaning up the nasty algae infested reflecting pool have become a source of international media conspiracy theory stories. How did we get here? We got here two ways. Reason gets scrapped and thrown out of the window because of show your ass theory, where liberals, in order to prove to other liberals how much they hate Trump, have to constantly supersede the prior level of craziness to show your bona fides. You don't like Trump's border wall? That wasn't enough. Now, everyone says they don't like it. Now you got to go to another thing. Now you got to go to like a Trump conspiracy theory about like how crime is really a good thing and Trump should let it happen. Then you go to like the pro-algae stuff. You see how the show your ass theory, how liberals have to constantly say crazier things about Trump and take more and more untenable positions to prove to other liberals they hate Trump more than the next guy. That's how you get to this reality distortion field of gaslighting. Here's what I mean. Here's Stephen King this weekend. This reflecting pool thing is out of control. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. There are actual people in freaking dinosaur costumes at the reflecting pool protesting for the return of algae to the reflecting pool. This is nuts. I've never seen anything like it. But it's an important story because it shows you that you have a choice in these midterm elections between people who don't care about ideas and only care about power. They will take psychotic positions to get rid of Trump and the obstacle to their takeover of the United States, and they don't care what you think, even when the facts are right in front of their face. Look at this nut Stephen King, of course, the fiction writer. This guy and I have had some epic fights over the years. This guy's a freaking lunatic. He loves my Twitter account, by the way. Here's Stephen King. Infamous author. Nobody is vandalizing the reflecting pool, and Trump knows it. There have been arrests. This is a visible example of his corruption. A no-bid contract to some crony, followed by sky-high cost overruns and shoddy construction to boot. Classic Trump. I didn't F this up. It was my enemies. There have been arrests for vandalizing of the pool. Did you miss it? Donald Trump even talked about it on his True Social account. How freaking crazy are we in of a time right now where you've got a political party that has made their staple issue going into a midterm election, algae in the reflecting pool in D.C. This is the only thing they care about. Affordability, gas prices, all that stuff they claim they're running on. Bullshit. The reflecting pool is the issue. Why? Listen to what Brother Dan just told you. We have reached the point on the left. We reached it a long time ago, but it's getting worse. Ideas don't matter anymore. What's the idea? Reflecting pool clean or reflecting pool dirty? They don't care. They don't care. That's not the idea. Donald Trump has become their singular focus of obsession. It is an obstacle, a big obstacle to their organized attempt to corrupt the United States and take back power. Whatever position they have to take, including pro-algae, they will take. You understand? I bet you guys didn't even know this, but Barack Obama put nearly twice as much money into a reflecting pool Lincoln Memorial cleanup operation, by the way, which is a good thing. I'm not mad at Obama for that at all. Matter of fact, so few people made a big deal out of it that I guarantee this is probably the first time you're hearing about it. It was only a big deal when Trump did it. Why? Because the it was an issue? No, the Trump was the issue. Here's the great Scott Jennings hat tip to his Twitter feed, having it out on CNN with some idiot who didn't even know that Obama poured in almost twice the money into trying to clean this project up. Nobody knew this because it wasn't an issue, because Obama did it, not Trump. And then Scott plays the actual news reports about how much it costs and how algae over there has been a constant problem. Proving to you again, it's not about the freaking algae, it's about the Trump. Check this out.
I think that the $14 million plus price tag that is associated with this cleanup project was ridiculous.
Did you oppose President Obama spending $34 million on the Lincoln Memorial and the reflecting pool?
I know that when President Obama invested, he did it with science in mind. So there was not an algae takeover.
For the record, you believe that algae didn't exist when Barack Obama was the president. Is that right?
I believe that once he invested in the beautification of that specific part, what we did not see was a takeover because we just didn't see anything happen.
Just for 1.6 billion years, algae has existed in stagnant pools on planet Earth, but not during the Obama administration.
What I'm saying is that it was treated which is what Donald Trump could have done.
The Lincoln Memorial Reflecting Pool reopened at the end of August to great fanfare after a $34 million renovation that lasted nearly 2 years. But less than a month later, the famous pool of water is full of algae.
If it's sunny, if it's really warm, it will rise to the top. So on some days, depending on the weather, you will see algae at the top.
I learned something tonight. I didn't realize that President Obama had cured algae when for 1.6 billion years, algae had been undefeated. So I've learned something this evening.
For those of you listening on Apple or Spotify, that news report that's jump cutted and split into that is from 2012 when Obama was the president. They don't care about the algae. The algae. Who cares about the algae? The answer is not the left either. It's not about the algae. It's about the Trump. Folks, this is how we get to a point, by the way, where we're in Tower of Babel, America, where basic facts are meaningless. This is why I tell you all the time when you debate a leftist, forget the leftists. They're a lost cause. So why debate them? It's a waste of time. It is not. There are a lot of, matter of fact, an abundance of very reasonable, not hyper-partisan people who may be D's or R's, but are persuaded by good arguments, and they're still listening. The liberal is a lost cause. It doesn't matter if you tell them Obama spent twice as much money and has been fighting the same problem. So you should be pissed off at Obama, not Trump, for trying to fix a problem Obama handed off to them and still hasn't fixed. They don't care. It's about Trump. They have distorted reality so much that the left has bedrocked their party in Tower of Babel politics where everybody's screaming at each other. And it's a way to get them to avoid using reason and just focus on the emotions. Here's another one I saw this weekend about this reality distortion field we're living in right now. It's not the craziest political time we've ever lived in. Like, check out the 1860s. However, we're getting to like serious political dystopia with this lunatic party. Hat tip and wokeness. This was the New York Times. This is a piece they ran. To my daughter, my gender was never complicated. You run this on Father's Day? No, your gender's not complicated. You're either a man or a woman. You don't pick your freaking gender. How is this hard? This is a basic tenet of reality. But yet when you believe that the critical theory tenets and absurdity. Look at this nonsense. How long did you have breasts for, Dad? What the is going on here? What is going on? Why do they do this? Why do they pretend algae just appeared under Donald Trump, that men can be women and women can't be men? Here, let me open book test, jump cut to the end. They cannot. That is not going to happen. You can say you're whatever you want to go by, sunflower or whatever, Mayflower, or I don't care what you want to call yourself, Joey Bag of Donuts, whatever. I'll use the name you want to. I'm not going to tell you you're a woman when you're a man or vice versa. It's just not going to happen. We're not doing it anymore, as the great Haley Karania said in her video. No, you can do it. We're just not doing it. Folks, without going into a history lesson, though, of why the left engages in this reality distortion field and refuses to engage in compass true north politics, and you're seeing it, people on our side doing the same thing too. Facts aren't facts anymore. When you get called out on something you said that is factually wrong, you just ignore it and move on, and people still believe you. You saw it with my coverage of some of these spats the last few weeks. I can produce to you actual data. The data refutes the premise. That doesn't matter. They move on. That's liberal politics at its worst. They believe in this critical theory garbage that later offshoot was critical race theory. And it goes like this. The white male patriarchy, white males like you, I celebrate the patriarchy. We love the patriarchy. Thank you, patriarchs. The white male patriarchy is basically the source of all power. Now, power is their goal. Power is their goal. And that all the knowledge passed down from the white male patriarchy is just a construct of said power, and you can't trust anything. So when you read articles like that, you didn't tell me about your gender, whatever that crazy New York Times shit is, or you start talking about people and talking about algae like it just appeared yesterday in the reflecting pool. The reason they do that is because of the second part of one of the tenets of critical theory. The way to get you to distrust everything and destroy the country from the inside is to say that knowledge is a construct of power. Power is organized and centralized at the white male patriarchy, and they're basically lying to you. That's how you get articles in these ridiculous left-wing newspapers that go, "It's 2 + 2 really equal 4." That is the genesis. Doubt me at your own expense. Look it up. You can look up critical theory yourself. You'll see they pump this stuff down your throats at all times. That is why you see articles like this too in the Toronto Star. We should abolish Father's Day. Now it's said with kind of a joking nonsense kind of thing. Ladies and gentlemen, it is not a joke. These people are serious. Everything that you have done as patriarchs out there, everything men, great men have done throughout history, if you're white, trust nothing. That's the way we get Tower of Babel politics. The Tower of Babel collapses, and the left gets to reorganize society from the ground up, unsurprisingly, with all of them in power, the Bernie Sanders type people. Doubt me at your own expense. I'm telling you, these people are freaking crazy. And it is why you get suckers to fall for this socialist bullshit every time. There has not been a more perverse ideology in human history that has caused more death and destruction, that has a 100% success rate. Socialism, yeah, it does, success rate of failure. It's failed every time. It succeeds at failing like nothing else. And yet suckers and dipshits and losers keep falling for it. There's an election in New York tomorrow. I'm going to get to in a second and take a quick break. There's an election in New York tomorrow. And there's a Mamdani candidate running for Congress who is a bigger socialist, shockingly, than Mamdani. That's hard to believe. The same bullshit you've heard. Government organization of the economy, everything's free, air quotes, nothing free. You're just going to pay for it. Lies about oppressed people around the world. I'm going to show you what I mean coming up in a second. And suckers are falling for this. This socialist phenomenon is spreading because stupid people have no compass true north, and the Tower of Babel's already fallen. I'll show you what I mean coming up in a second. And I'll immediately discredit this idiot. Daria, Lisa, Chevalier, whatever, said something about wiping her hands on the American flag. Yeah, the American flag. The one patriots from the Revolutionary War to the Civil War to World War I to World War II to Iraq and Afghanistan died for. So you could sit there with your stupid bullshit, shit-eating grin on your face, talk about wiping your hands on the flag. Asshole. Yeah, you. That's right. We call it like it is here. Stay tuned for that. This is my least favorite clip of the day, but you need to see it because this is how suckers keep falling for this. Hey guys, you know my health history. I don't mess with supplements unless I use them and I know they work. Paul and I have been taking collagen for years. The stuff is a freaking game changer for me. Can't recommend it enough. This is a collagen product from Native Path. Get nativepath.com/Dan. We are just like prolific users of this stuff. I put it in everything, me and Paula. I put it in coffee. I put it in my protein shakes. I put it in water. Sometimes I put it in juice because the vitamin C helps. Collagen is the protein that helps hold your body together. Paula uses it every day. Her skin looks absolutely amazing. I use it. It's helped me significantly with my joint pain. It's critical. After 30, I don't know if you know this, but your body's going to lose about 1% to 2% of collagen every year. It's like the mortar and the bricks going away. What happens? The house is going to fall down. But here's how taking collagen is helping me and Paula. I got bad elbows and joints. I've told you that. My knee is terrible. Collagen is awesome for helping me with that joint stiffness and pain. It helps me with mobility. It also helps support muscles too, especially after a workout. It's great for helping with bone density. Paula will tell you how great it is for her skin and hair too. Her hair's never looked better. She was talking about that the other day. I got you over 45% off with Native Path at getnativepath.com/Dan. Free shipping and a 365-day money-back guarantee. That's how confident they are in the product. You got to get on it now, though. Take it. If you don't feel a real difference in your health, you get your money back, no questions asked. Check it out. Go to getnativepath.com/Dan. Collagen, it's the best. That's getnativepath.com/Dan. Check it out today. These statements and products have not been evaluated by the FDA, not a diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or condition. Consult with a healthcare professional. Thanks, Native Path. Collagen. Fantastic. Love it. He's like, what about the dog food? do I got something for you too. Lucy's new favorite. You ever try SundaysForDogs.com? If you haven't, you better, before Lucy eats the whole supply. You ever actually looked at the ingredient list on your dog food? One time I tried reading it and I was like, what the hell is this stuff? How is that even food? It made me realize, listen, I'm really careful about what I eat, but I love my dog, Lucy. I never thought I'd be a dog person, but I am. By the way, my daughter brought a cat home, too. And I was like a cat. I never thought I'd own a dog or a cat. Now I got both of them. You got to get high quality food for your dog. That's why I switched to Sundays for Dogs. I said, send me a sample first because Lucy doesn't eat anything. And she loved it. She thinks it's a treat now, not just food. It was created by a veterinarian, Dr. Tori Waxman, and designed to meet seriously high standards. Sundays starts with over 80% all natural meats, plus superfoods like kale, ginger, and blueberries. No fillers, no weird chemical blends, just real nutrition. And instead of high heat processing, it's gently air dried so it looks and smells like real food, almost like jerky. It's also ridiculously easy. No fridge, no prep, just scoop and serve. Again, Lucy thinks it's like a treat. And they just launched a new fish recipe made with 80% real fish packed with omega-3s and perfect for picky dog eaters. Lucy loves it. I've noticed more energy, a healthier coat. Make the switch to Sundays for Dogs right now. Go to sundaysfordogs.com/Bongino. Get 50% off your first order. That's pretty amazing. Or you can use code Bongino at checkout. That's 50% off your first order at sundaysfordogs.com/Bongino. Your dog will like you. Sundaysfordogs.com/Bongino or use code Bongino at checkout. Your dog loves you. She'll like you more. Your dog will like you. What do you say? My dog doesn't like me? Sundaysfordogs.com/Bongino. Okay. Folks, you want to get suckers to believe everything? Collapse the freaking Tower of Babel. Throw off compass true north. Tell everybody the white male patriarchy is the source of knowledge, that 2 + 2 = 72. And suckers fall for this stuff. I'm sorry to tell you in the listening audience. I'm very sorry. I love you guys. I don't want to be an asshole. I'm just telling you, if you're like a liberal, young, old, medium, it doesn't really matter, my age, kind of middle age plus, right? And you're still falling for Mamdani, Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, and this Daria Lisa, whoever, you're an idiot. You can just look this stuff up yourself, okay? Socialism doesn't work because it doesn't work. Why doesn't it work? Because people don't want to work and give up their stuff to other people who didn't work to acquire the stuff that was a product of their labor. It's not hard. Here she is at a debate, unbelievably, comparing Gaza to New York City. Just listen to this insanity and ask yourself how suckers keep falling for the stupid. Check this out.
I was in Nablus for almost 2 months. And I visited many cities in the region, both in the West Bank and in Israel. And what I found in my time there was a system of apartheid. And I saw so many connections between what was happening to Palestinians there in Palestine and what was happening to so many communities across the U.S., particularly Black and Latino communities, who have been priced out and pushed out of our homes. When we talk about displacement in the West Bank or in Gaza, it is a very similar, visually similar situation where people who have been in a place for generations are being displaced because of corporate interests.
Holy Moses, Gaza, comparing it to New York City. By the way, you can just look this up. Suckers, idiots, and losers out there who are falling for this moron who thinks the American flag is a napkin. Can you just go to like GPT or whatever AI? Gaza, you mean the Gaza the Israelis gave back to the Palestinians? You can actually look this up. Who's that? That's Justin. Did Israel return Gaza to the Palestinians? What does it say? Searching the web. Yes, in 2005, under the Gaza Disengagement Plan led by Ariel Sharon. Folks, have whatever opinion you want about the Middle East. Okay, it's a free country. You have the right to assemble, petition, speak, practice your religion, bear arms. You have all of that great stuff. But with that right comes a certain responsibility. If you're going to go out in a public debate and make a stupid argument that Gaza's like New York City, who's in charge of Gaza? The freaking Palestinians, because the Israelis gave it back. She's making the opposite argument. And suckers are like, yeah, man, she really nailed that. Poor Palestinians. Dumbass. What's funny about that? Was that the first time I said? Justin laughed like that was like the first time. Dumbass. You're just stupid. Stop being stupid. You ever see that Paris Hilton meme? Don't be poor. Just don't be stupid. It's not hard to not be stupid. Folks, you can look this stuff up, okay? You want to see liberal psychosis in action too? Guy predicted it too. He's like, this is going to be your favorite story today. It is. Here's California, where like dystopian political show your ass, non-compass true north, Tower of Babel politics is in effect. Here's what I mean by when the tower collapses, because there's no basis, like no one talks about facts anymore and suckers fall for bullshit all the time. This is what happens. There's this article. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but I strongly encourage you to read it. If you're bored, need a few minutes, check it out. It's in the Wall Street Journal. It's about California is engaged in this civil war over the wealth tax. You make civil war, like the wealth tax, doesn't make sense. A liberal state, they should love a wealth tax. A wealth tax is simply a tax on unrealized gains and wealth, which is ridiculous. It never works. Every time they've tried it, unrealized gains means taxing stock ownership and other things that you haven't sold. The problem is the stock could go down tomorrow and you could actually lose money. So how the hell on money you'd already been taxed on should you pay taxes again on a stock you haven't even sold and you could lose money on? The answer is you're not. People are going to leave the state. This story is hilarious for all the wrong reasons. What's the Civil War over? The SEIU, one of these unions, wants this wealth tax to fund a lot of the government spending and nonsense that goes on in California. Newsom knows people are going to, the horrible governor, knows people are going to flee the state if the wealth tax is enacted. So he's like quietly like for and against it at the same time. He's like against it, but behind the scenes, he like fosters the class warfare that leads to it. That's what I mean. So Newsom's fighting with the SEIU. The SEIU is fighting with the California Teachers Association, another left-wing union. They don't like the wealth tax either. Why not? I thought they loved taxes. Because it bypasses the California referendum that 40% of the tax load has to go to teachers and education. So they don't like the wealth tax because they don't get the money. This is Tower of Babel politics. Fighting for the scraps from Longshank's table, to quote Braveheart. Nobody wants to actually go out and earn their own money. They're just concerned about if they're going to steal money from successful people in California, who gets to divvy up the spoils first? You got to read the article. It is hilarious. And then there's another local union that doesn't like the wealth tax because they're afraid that their own referendum on a different tax may get overshadowed by the wealth tax. You know, you could go out there. Here, people who are fighting liberals, you see this thing called your ass? You could get your ass up and remove it from the seat, and you could actually go work and make your own money and stop focusing on stealing everyone else's. You just don't want to because you're suckers and you're lazy and you'll fall for any stupid argument about socialism that someone jams down your throat because you just don't want to do the homework. You got Grok, you got GPT, you got Google Gemini, you got 1,000 artificial intelligence agents out there and labs you could just ask questions about, and you won't. People believe liberals stupid shit all the time. They believe Bill Clinton produced the surplus. How the hell did Bill Clinton produce the surplus? It's not true. The government debt, national debt, went up every year. If he produced a surplus, the national debt would have went down. There was an entitlement surplus, which the government stole and then spent. There was no surplus. The Reagan tax cuts. People will tell you liberals, I'm sure Daria Lisa thinks this too, because she still doesn't know what happened in Gaza, moron. She'll tell you, oh, those Reagan tax cuts were a mess. They only benefited the rich. There's a full breakdown in the Wall Street Journal this weekend about exactly this. You can read the data yourself, imbeciles on the left. I know you don't want to because knowledge is actual power and you don't want power. You want power in your pocket, not power through knowledge. You want power through force. There's a difference. The surprising truth about Reagan's tax cuts by Phil Gramm and Michael Salon. They notice at the end that you've probably heard this before, that the Reagan tax cuts were tax cuts for the wealthy. They note that this is pretty much a consensus in liberal stupidity. I do that on at the end. Well, what do the numbers say? I'm going to help you guys out there. Not that it's going to matter to the liberals listening. However, to the third party that's heard this in the past, that the Reagan tax cuts somehow benefited the rich, I'd like to give you the data. Move on to the next from this piece of you. Look at this. So the Reagan tax cuts dropped the tax rate to the top tax rate to 28%. And data from the IRS noted that before the tax cuts took effect, that the rich, the top fifth of income earners, paid 64% of all federal income tax. The bottom fifth, 3/5, paid 15%. You got it? 64% before Reagan cuts the taxes for people who are successful. And the bottom 3/5 paid 15%. So what happened afterwards? If they were tax cuts for the rich, then most assuredly, the percentage of taxes paid by the rich went down, right? If you believe stupidity and Daria Elisa Chevalier and others. Well, that's not what happened, folks. These are facts. Facts. Get ready. Facts bomb coming in. I know this is going to hurt, liberals. Cry and piss in your diapers all you want. They note in the piece that the share of the individual tax burden had increased for the rich to 67%. I thought it was 64 before. That means they paid more. Yes! And dropped to 19th for the next fifth and 14% for the bottom 60%. So when the tax rates went down, the economy exploded and the rich wound up actually paying more, so much so that by the time Reagan left office, years later, the rich were paying from 64, went all the way up to 71%, and the bottom 3/5 all the way went down to 12% from 16. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry you've been lied to over and over and over again. Over again. Incredibly, they note by 2022, the richest folks paid 88% of income taxes, and the middle fifth down 4%. Folks, think what you want, okay? You're allowed to. You have the big R God-given right to petition for algae, show up with your pro-algae dinosaur Barney costumes down there. We love algae. Media people, you can run stories all day about algae. This is how you get Tower of Babel stupid, where your liberal neighbor will swear to you over and over that Reagan's tax cuts, and there was a Clinton surplus, which isn't true, that Reagan's tax cuts were for the rich, even though the opposite happened. This is how we get to collective crazy. You want to cover the biggest story of the month so far, the rape squads in the UK? Nah. Now, let's dedicate 24-hour wall-to-wall coverage of freaking algae in the swimming pool. Now do you see why we're reflecting on the reflecting pool today? This is intentional insanity. Look at this Washington Post story. This is insane. I've never seen a paper or this liberal media deface themselves more about a story than this nonsense. They still haven't gone out. Washington Post. Yeah, you guys can throw that up. The blue paint is peeling off the reflecting pool. This is insane. I've never seen so much. They still haven't corrected the freaking Russia collusion fairy tale pee-pee hoax, and yet they're on this Planet of Memes had it best. CNN's permanent floating news station on the reflecting pool. They're joking, of course, but put this AI picture out there. Here is CNN, reflecting barge on the pool, full-time coverage. You see, this stuff is crazy. You have people out there in freaking Barney costumes, the dinosaur guy, with pro-algae harassing the National Guard. No, we don't. Yes, here it is. HatTipFreedomNews.tv. This is real. This is not AI.
Let's go! So the national guard to come and watch SpongeBob. $1.1 million a day. So the
can you imagine this shit? You look at these poor guys. These wonderful, glorious public servants out there, policing up the city against vandals, and you got this idiot in a freaking Barney the stupid dinosaur costume protesting team out. I bet the Barney people are probably pissed. Folks, listen to me, man. This is important. Their only currency on the left is power. If you're under the illusion that they care about ideas, tax cuts, Clinton's surplus, algae in the reflecting pool, you are nuts. They are about power and obstacles to power. They don't care about knowledge. They will discredit basic human knowledge to achieve power, tell you 3 + 3 = 42. They don't care. This is not about ideas. I'm going to prove it to you right now, because we still have people out there, persuadable Democrats who may be that third party listening, who may listen to this show and go, you know what, Dan's right. This is kind of effing crazy. Here's what I'm talking about. So Obama spent $34 million on the reflecting pool in the Lincoln Memorial, twice as much as Donald Trump. They had a similar problem because it's hot. They're still working on it. They'll figure it out. It's probably not going to be fixed overnight. But at least you got a president who gives a damn. Nobody cares about that. Here's Obama. I have been warning about this. Justin, you remember how often I used to talk about this? Folks, the Democrats get ready. I want you to get ready. Don't clip this wrong. Because, I love clipping my show. People do that. But you got to clip this in the right spot of the context. Let me just say if it'll be thrown out. Democrats do not hate Republicans. They hate obstacles. Time out. Yeah, Dan, they do. No, they don't. Liz Cheney. The Democrats hated the Cheney family. Hated warmonger, Halliburton, child of warmonger, and then Liz Cheney, who stopped being an obstacle to their power in the Cheney family and helped them out on the January 6th debacle hearing. All of a sudden, they loved her. They were her biggest fan. You remember that, right? I could give you 1,000 examples of this. John Bolton's another one. They hated John Bolton. All of a sudden, John Bolton is, pleads guilty. Oh, this is all targeting. Then all of a sudden, they love him. It's almost like it's not about them being a Republican. It's about them being an obstacle. That the ideas never mattered. The Republican ideas these people, Cheney and Bolton, claim they stood for. It's almost like the fact that they were an obstacle to their power is all that mattered. Did you see the speech Obama gave at the Obama library opening? They call it like the garbage can. Have you seen this debacle? This architectural abomination looks like it's out of the Soviet Union. I've been talking about this for years. How in order to get rid of the current Republican office holder in the White House, whoever it was, Reagan, H.W. Bush, George W. Bush, or Donald Trump, people they had shit on before, Romney, Bush, and others, they will say, well, this guy, Trump, is 10 times worse. Those other guys really weren't too bad. But they said the same thing about the last guy when the last guy, well, Bush is really horrible, but Reagan wasn't too bad. They do this all the time. It's not about the guy. Here's Obama doing it. Nobody crapped on Mitt Romney and John McCain more than Obama. Nobody. Now, all of a sudden, when they're no longer obstacles, but Trump is, they do the exact thing I warned you about. I promise one day, mark my words, they'll do it with Trump too. No, yes, it is not about, it's about obstacles. Watch, listen yourself.
There are American values we can all share, regardless of party. Values every president here today, as different as we are, has tried our best to uphold. Values that John McCain and Mitt Romney believed in, no less than I did. It is our greatest inheritance, the story of America at its best, because it reflects a basic faith in the decency of our fellow citizens.
Folks, I don't even like Mitt Romney. It's not personal, but they accuse Mitt Romney of killing his dog on the roof, of being a serial misogynist with binders full of women when it was binders full of resumes. McCain, they accuse him of being a warmonger. They took pictures of him and put him on the front page magazines with bad uplighting to make him look like Satan, the devil. They don't hate Republicans. They hate obstacles. Tag it, flag it. Remember I said this. Think of a Republican they really viscerally can't stand outside of Donald Trump. Just throw a name out there. I don't want to throw a name because I don't want to, but if that Republican were to turn tomorrow and say anything anti-Trump, I promise, flags in the chat, I promise you, these guys will become superheroes in the eyes of the left, proving my point that Democrats don't hate Republicans, they hate obstacles. It is only about the acquisition of power. Facts be damned, people be damned, character assassination, throw it out there, morals be damned, ethics be damned. They don't care, and they will flip their position on a dime. Here, more receipts incoming. Hat tip Mays more. Here is Obama in a debate. I'm only bringing this up because he just opened the garbage can, right? And he's out there inserting hillself into the political argument again, pretending this is about ideas. So let's make it about ideas. Let's make it about Obama's ideas. And I'm using air quotes because the ideas change depending on when he's talking or who he's trying to get out of power. Here's Obama running against Hillary in a debate, talking about how George W. Bush was basically not hard enough on immigration. No, you mean soft. No, hard. He was not hard. That George W. Bush should have been tougher on immigration. This is Obama saying this. I thought it was about ideas. But then I got Michelle Obama just the other day at the garbage can opening saying something completely different, almost like it was never about the idea at all. Play Obama first from Hat Tip Mays Moore with the debate with Hillary. Check this out.
The Bush administration has done nothing to control the problem that we have. We've had 5 million undocumented workers come over the borders since George Bush took office. It has become an extraordinary problem. And the reason the American people are concerned is because they are seeing their own economic position slip away. And oftentimes, employers are exploiting these undocumented workers. They're not paying the minimum wage. They're not observing worker safety laws. As president, I will make sure that we finally have the kind of border security that we need. That's step number one. Step number two is to take on employers. Right now, an employer has more of a chance of getting hit by lightning than be prosecuted for hiring an undocumented worker. That has to change. They have to be held accountable. Start shedding some light on the problem, and we can once again be a nation of laws and a nation of immigrants. That's what I intend to do as president of the United States.
What the hell is that? He sounds like Trump. I thought it was about ideas. Daria, Lisa, Mamdani, Sanders, what about ideas, Noosa? No, we're just debating ideas. Then what idea are you debating? Because you just said you like border security. Donald Trump has secured the border for the first time in decades where there's 0 illegal migrants admitted into the country. You should be celebrating his success. If, it's about the idea. But it's not about the idea. It's about power. And Donald Trump is an obstacle to power. So now you have to take the attention off the idea of immigration and make it about the person. But Dan, Mays Moore and others, they go out and they just accumulate these clips and play them. You would think the left would be like, okay, that's kind of hypocritical. They don't care. The Tower of Babel's imploded. This is what happens with the reality distortion lens. When you lie to people so often and so confidently, they don't know what's true anymore. Here's Michelle Obama just this past week at the garbage can opening, criticizing Trump about his immigration policy that her own husband basically ran for office on. You just saw the receipts. Check this out.
Proving what it truly means to be a dreamer. These folks aren't Americans too. They are America. They are the beating heart of this country. They are us and we are them. And to ignore this simple truth, to refuse to respect the contributions and experiences of people who aren't exactly like us, y'all puts us all at risk.
I thought it was about ideas. Lefties watching the show, I know this bothers you. I know, I see the face clawing, the crying, the gnashing of the teeth, the territorial pissings in the diapers. I get it. I get it bothers you that your golden calves are all fake, that they don't have faith or a religion of ideas. It's a religion of power. They'll change their idea, their commentary, their criticism like that to get past an obstacle. That is it. I don't know how any other, this has been just the most packed receipt show we've done in a few weeks right now. Almost everything they tell you on the left is a lie. The question you should be asking yourself is, why do you fall for it? Why? These people are bullshitting you. Hey, have you seen these? I got a little timeline cleanse for you. We've had way too much Barack Obama and algae wars people going on. The dinosaur people protesting. Team Algae, #1 foamy finger. We love algae. I got a timeline cleanse for you. These videos, I can't get enough of these. Europeans coming to the United States, Europeans who a lot of them who believe in socialism too, coming to the United States for the first time and seeing the greatness of free markets in this country. I can't get enough of these videos. I also got a stat that I saw on Twitter that it should be the only evidence you need that the last year of what we did with the administration cleaning up the streets, how dangerous but easy it is to do if you're not crazy. Quick break. We'll get right back to the show.
Let's go, Ogden. Let's go.
Justin's doing the clap. Team, there's going to be Team Ebola in Hanta soon. I'm telling you. If Trump cures HIV, there'll be Team HIV. I promise you. Don't doubt me. Don't doubt me. The Tower of Babel's collapsed. These people are seriously nuts. Just pay attention to that third party. Hey, folks, there's so much going on with doxing and so many dangerous things going on in the internet. You should not have unnecessary information about your private life, your private details about your life online. You just shouldn't. You ever thought about what you could be doing more to protect yourself online? I'm going to give you an easy solution that's worth it. If you're not sure where to start with Delete Me. Here's what you need to do. Go to joindeleteme.com/Bongino. Enter code Bongino and get 20% off Delete Me. Well, what does it do? Delete Me removes your personal information that's being sold online. It's an excellent service. Can't vouch for it enough. In today's world, your data is everywhere. A quick internet search can reveal your home address, even your number. You don't need that out there. But Delete Me can help by removing your information from hundreds of data broker websites. Someone with an active online presence, this really concerns me. I like knowing there's a service out there to reduce my online footprint and personal information out there. It's exposure you don't need. Take control of your data, keep your private life private by signing up for Delete Me. Now at a special discount for our listeners. Do it today. Get 20% off your Delete Me plan when you go to joindeleteme.com/Bongino and use promo code Bongino at checkout. The only way to get 20% off, which is a big savings, protect yourself online, is to go to joindeleteme.com/Bongino. Enter code Bongino today. Check it out, Delete Me. It's worth it, folks. I can't get enough of these timeline cleanse videos. I could do the whole show on them, but I choose to keep it kind of short and brief. It keeps it punchy, but it is the summer. I hope you're enjoying summer with your families. Like I said, the show is not your priority. Your family is. I'm honored you're here. Some of you, we got 54,000 live, which is a pretty staggering number for a pre-July 4th week in the summer. What did I tell you guys this morning? I'm like, yeah, live audience is the summer, but you're still here filling up a football stadium. So God bless you. I love having you here. Check this one out. This is a little quickie montage of Europeans just blown away by how much stuff comes to the table that nothing's free. We get it. But they don't do this in a lot of European places. And the staggering portion sizes in America. Check this out.
You're welcome.
This is one pancake?
Yeah, welcome to America. I used to be little like you.
That's crazy. It's so heavy.
This is pizza. Damn. It's ground beef. Look at I got big hands, L-sized hands.
That is absolutely massive. That is the size of my head. You can't get a drink this size in my country.
But what is this? Costco. This is even bigger than Walmart.
Ich will essen alles. Oh my God, Tamani.
Did you see Haley, by the way, on her TikTok and Instagram, did her first Costco visit too? Haley's not from Europe. Haley's from New York, Long Island, from not too far from where I used to live. She's obviously coming up at noon. They walk into Costco, they're like, I've never seen anything like this in my life. What is this, a museum? No, it's a Costco. I can't believe how big the portions are. This is America. 250 years of freedom, liberty, and kicking ass, my new favorite shirt. If you want one, store it up on Bongino.com. Up to you. Up to you. We do everything big here because we're freaking awesome. America, this is the oasis, man. This is it. It's crazy that it's taken a bunch of Europeans living in these semi kind of socialist big government welfare states to come over here and be like, man, we must be effing some stuff up to not be getting this right. Look at this freaking pancake. That waiter's hilarious. I used to be little like you too. Look, welcome to America, Daddy-O. Check this cat out. He goes into Texas Roadhouse. Listen, seriously, no joke. I love steak. And not Biden, no joke, real no joke. I love steak. I love Texas Roadhouse. People were like laughing at this video, like, oh, Texas Roadhouse, it's a chain. I don't care if it's a chain. I love Texas Roadhouse. It's freaking fantastic. Don't be a food snob. The steak's pretty damn good. This European cat, he can't believe, like, you go in there and they give you the peanuts. He's like looking at the Texas Roadhouse like he's in like Smith and Walensky's. They can't get over it. This may be my favorite video because I love steak. Thank you, Paula, who cooked an amazing steak for me. She got me a Wagyu, and it was badass yesterday for Father's Day. And my daughter surprised me back from college. Popped in the door. I see this cat. I'm like, what the hell's going on? My daughter got a cat. Didn't even tell me. I told you, I never thought I'd have a dog or a cat. Now I got a cat and a dog. And you know what the cat's name is? Muffin. Muffin. We got Muffin and Lucy. But very manly names. By the way, they're both females. And yes, they're not confused. Lucy knows she's a girl dog, and Muffin knows she's a cat. They're not confused. My house is all females. All females. Here's the dude. He can't get over Texas freaking Road. This is awesome. Check this out.
Yeah, I don't normally go to fancy restaurants, but like I'm in America with my son, so I'm like, let's go to Texas Roadhouse. It's unbelievable. First of all, they give you these peanuts. You can eat as many as you want. She's like, yeah, just take a bag. Then they come out and they put this bread on the table, and I'm like, oh, I didn't order the bread. It's like, oh, that's free. It's like, and she goes, and if you want more bread, we'll just give you more. And this bread it's as nice as bread can possibly be. Like, if you're an Australian, try and picture the most unbelievable bread, like Subway bread. It's got this fancy butter. Then they give you the Coke. Of course, it's America, so it's unlimited refills. And then it was all like ribs and steak and chips. There was an onion that had been deep fried, and you dip it in the sauce. You just leave there so happy. And then Australians are all like, yeah, but in America, you've got to tip. No, you don't have to tip. You want to tip. These people are the most wonderful.
Hat tip Nathan Ranklin from Australia. Sir, welcome. We love visitors in this country. You come here and celebrate this place. Do it the right way. We love to have you. Welcome, fine sir. The only dispute I would say, which is minor, as Justin accurately said, we need to get you into a New York deli for some bread. I celebrate American business, good for Subway, but well, maybe a pub sub too. If you're down in Florida, what's that line, Justin? If you know, you know. Folks in the chat, who knows what I'm talking about? The pub sub. If you know, you know. Justin knows. They give you like a cannon in Publix. It's not even like, it looks like a cannon. It doesn't even look like a sandwich. Sometimes you got to walk out of there with like, you know, if you're doing a fireman's carry with like someone who passed out, the thing's so heavy, you have to like scoop the thing legwise, throw it over your shoulder sideways because the pub sub is so damn big. You know, who said it? We got a bunch of people in the chat there. They know about the pub sub. Love the pub. Who said that? F. Barrett 50. You're damn right, amigo. Pub sub. Someone who knows Nathan, get him a pub sub and the bread. And I'm from New York, and I'm telling you that. Whew. This is a Jasmine special. Jasmine insisted we put this in the show. Jasmine, you know, she's always got a big heart and everything. She goes, Dan, did you see the kid with the brownie? I said, I did not see the kid with the brownie, but I guess you're going to show me. She says, let me just show. She never shows me videos. She's like, you got to see this. Here's a kid from the UK. I don't know. Is this the first time he's had a brownie in America? Look at this kid's face. This is just epic. Oh, Father's Day. To this kid's father, you did a good job. Celebrating the American brownie. Check this out.
Is it nice? Who made this? Chef. Where's Chef? In the kitchen. Why? Tell him. Tell him what? This thing is lovely. Is it? Stunning.
This is lovely. Tell the chef. I don't do a good UK accent. I barely do a good New York accent anymore, and I'm freaking from New York. This is lovely. Mommy, you are welcome here, younglings. Welcome. Enjoy the brownies. This is the greatest place on earth. I wasn't going to do this. I don't know why Justin wants to do this. So, but he may have done something I'm not aware of. I did a Maha moment, but I wasn't going to get to it. But he like pops out. He's like, while we're on the topic of food, I'm like, okay. So he saved Portland liberal guy for tomorrow. I like that clip. You're going to see this guy walking around Portland, like figures out liberalism for. I'll say. So, I love my Maha moments. So I saw this one, and it was about, while we're on the topic of food, we have a lot of beans in America too. And beans are great. However, Kevin Bacon wants to do like meat-free Wednesdays or something. Ladies and gentlemen. No, definitely not beans. That's gross. Beans are good. They're good for you. However, meat. I'm about, steak and meat. I'm a meat eater. Like meat. Eat the meats. It's good for you. Here's Kevin Bacon. He wants to go like meatless Wednesdays. I don't know why Justin wants to see this clip so bad, but check this out.
You know me as Kevin Bacon, but on Wednesdays, I'm Kevin Bean. Because Wednesday is Beans Day, the day we swap meat for beans. They're packed with protein and fiber. They keep you full longer. You save money and animals. They're just beans till you realize how many animals they spare. Observing Beans Day is a small step and makes a big difference. Take it from me, Kevin Bean.
I love animals. Animals are awesome. You should treat animals very well and nice and cute or whatever. But when it comes time to eat, they gotta go. I love animals. They're great. Treat them humanely. God will not look kindly on you if you mistreat animals. But there's no single better source of nutrition on planet Earth than animals. God gave us the animals to eat because the animals eat each other. We're animals touched by the hand of God with human consciousness and the gifts he's given us. However, you got to eat the animals. When it's time, it's time. By the way, beans are not a complete protein, and they're never going to match up to meat. It just doesn't work. It's not going to be a thing. Here, go to what is it, Grok or GPT, whatever. I'll give you a little Maha lesson here. Beans are not a complete protein. Now, you can mix them with other things, but it will never be as effective as meat. You've got these essential amino acids that you are never going to get from only eating beans. Oh, there's Justin. Are beans a complete, is that Grok, a complete protein? Thinking about your request. I love these little AI things because you can do your homework. No, most beans are not a complete protein. They don't have a complete protein as all 9 essential amino acids, which meat and milk and dairy products do. Kev, I'm not beefing with you. You want to eat beans on Wednesday, do your thing, whatever. I don't know why this guy wanted this segment. So he's like, are you like a bean lover all of a sudden? So all of a sudden, Justin was like, he's popping out. We got to do the segment on the beans. Eat the beans all you want. Eat the beans all you want. But just understand, like, it's not a complete protein. You got to eat the animals. Listen, love animals, treat them humanely. But when it's time, what does that mean, Justin? That means if it's the animals or us, they got to go. You can eat the animals. It's okay. God's not mad at you. He set up this system for a reason this way. He made animals a complete protein. Go to Texas Roadhouse. Enjoy yourself a good steak. I'm glad a lot of people love Texas Roadhouse in the chat, too. There were a bunch of people making fun of Texas Roadhouse. I couldn't believe it. That's a good place, man. You have damn good steak. Don't we have one here down Route 1 somewhere? Down like by the Barnes & Noble or something like that? I've been in there a couple of times. I don't get out too much anymore, though. I'm always doing the show or something like that. Folks, over the last year, I put out a tweet this weekend just kind of reminding people of the Trump administration's focus on at this 250th America. All these Europeans are celebrating America. We love having you here. But one thing about America you probably heard that's total bullshit is like America's the most dangerous country on earth and all this shit. America is not even close to the most dangerous place on earth. We have pockets of violence in this country, but very, very few people commit the overwhelming number of violent acts. This is important because law enforcement pros, I'm friends with a lot of them, police chiefs, retired guys. Some of them are on TV now doing law enforcement commentary. They'll ask me, they say, what did you, oh, thank you. I didn't mean, so this is what we did over the last year. Like the numbers are just staggering with the Trump administration, how we just completely caved violent crime. And again, I'd love to tell you it was some, revolutionary genius approach, but it isn't. I got the idea from Rudy Giuliani of implementing broken window style policing using the FBI. Why? Because folks, America is an overwhelmingly great, safe, and peaceful place. There is a small sliver of people. Read this tweet. This is Arthur McWaters on Twitter. Read this tweet and you will see exactly what I told you. When you focus like a laser, law enforcement resources on the 1% of people who account for 63% of violent crimes, folks, the violent crime rates drop just like we did last year with the Trump administration. 0.2% of people ever commit murder. 67% of all murders are committed by people with prior arrests. The guy notes, you can literally just fix crime by not tolerating people who show a history of being destructive to society. Folks, I'm telling you, man, I would love to come in here and be like, oh my gosh, this was this advanced police science approach and we invented this whole thing. We didn't. You would be stunned to know that the FBI before, under Wray and Comey, got really out of the violent crime business. Talk to them, media people, call anyone off the record there who was in a leadership position. And they'll tell you the footprint in violent crime was so small. We're like, why is that? I mean, we have to do other things, and we will, but the most dangerous problem you have walking out of your house is getting shot. We refocused it, went and locked these people up, and look what happened. The murder rate, the lowest in American history. The drop was one of the largest ever recorded, too, because the Trump administration said enough. So to Europeans coming over here who've heard like America's like a kill zone, you've been lied to again by bullshitters who make it a kill zone. People like liberals, like these Mamdani and defund the police losers, and Daria Lisa, whatever her name is. Those are the people who make it a kill zone in areas they run. The place is overwhelmingly peaceful and safe. Don't believe the hype and the bullshit. All right, folks, thanks again for tuning in. I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. We got Haley coming up at noon. Rumble.com/Haley. 2 Ys, Hayley, and the king of morning podcasting every day at 8 a.m. live Eastern time at rumble.com/Vince. Vince Colonnese, one of the best shows out there. You can listen to him on the radio nationwide too. Please download the Rumble app. It is free. It doesn't cost you anything at all. You can then follow my show there. You'll get a notification when we go live. Join the live chat. You can go on the web too, rumble.com/Bongino, and your smart TV. Just go to the search button and just put Rumble, and you can download the Rumble app watching your TV right there. Sometimes we watch my show on TV, see where we can make some improvements. It's better on the old big screen. Thanks again for tuning in, folks. I will see you back here tomorrow.
I'm Haley Caradia,
host of Vince,
host of Scrolling with Haley.
You can always catch my show right here
on the Bongino Report.
Live, 8 a.m. Eastern, weekday mornings.
Weekdays at noon. If you miss it, no worries. The show will always be
right here
and anywhere you find podcasts. Thanks for watching.